YouTube, good afternoon. Had to think about that for a minute. It's John Davis, Laughlin Highlands Farm. Wanted to do a quick update today on the silvopasture project, and let me show you some drone footage first. It looks awesome what we've been able to get done. I am so excited about it. Let me show you what we've done. I mean, it is just such a massive improvement and just a huge amount of work that we've been able to do in this, what's going to be a pasture. It was just scruffy woods. What's going to be a pasture here in just a few short months. So very, 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 very excited at what we're doing and what we're able to do here, especially on these beautiful days. Folks, I got to tell you, build your community. The guys I had come over are my neighbors, like my actual neighbors, but they're two good men that went with me to North Carolina, Grindstone Ministries, to help out with the effort down there. And, you know, one man is one man, but two men is three men. And three men is like five men, right? So having those guys come over, farmers helping farmers, it was a huge deal. This is pretty cool. There are two things I want to answer in this, this update. One is, I had somebody ask me, aren't you concerned about cutting down all those trees? Aren't they going to be good trees? Or how do you know that you're not cutting down good trees? And the other one was, what am I going to do with all these stumps? So let me go over that. I think those are two good topics for this video, and then I got to get back to work. So without further ado, here we go. Here's something else to consider too. For pasture, which this is good land from a pasture standpoint, but it's northern facing and it's steep on a hill. So you can't hay it, you can't plant anything on it, and besides, we're not row croppers, we are ranchers. We grow animals and we sell the meat, that's what we do. This will be great pasture land, but the problem is it has too much shade. So on top of thinning out the trees that really have very little value, something else that we have to do is thin out the canopy, so that we get about 20% shade instead of like 80 or 90% shade, which will not grow grass and all the things we need to feed animals. And that means we got to cut down a lot of trees. Now, we want to leave some trees for shade because shade is nice and animals like it, but ultimately, a bunch of these trees got to go because our animals have to have, you know, grass to eat. And we're going to plant this in grass, and, you know, you'll see videos of that as we go on later. So it does seem like we're cutting down a lot because we are, but this is going from extremely unproductive land that wasn't being used at all, that essentially had no value, to land that we're going to make very productive for animals. And it just takes effort. That's what you got to do. This is scrub forest. All of this, if you can believe it, used to be wide open pasture land with a few trees for shade cover. And it's been about, my dad and I were talking, maybe 45, 50 years or so since that time. So it's had a chance to grow up. What has grown up? This is a northern facing slope. And the trees that we've taped off with the yellow caution tape, you can see one there. See a few back there. What typically grows up are beech, maple, scrub trees, which I'll define in a minute, ash, and elm, and walnut. We do have some black walnut, to be fair. That's a walnut tree right there. That's a maple tree that we can get sap from. That is a dead ash tree from the emerald ash borer. And cherry. Forgot to mention cherry. That's a wild cherry tree. And this evil, let me do this without falling down the hill. This evil piece of junk right here is a hawthorn tree. So that is junk. I hate hawthorn trees. Man, they hurt like a mother when you get stuck by them. They've got these giant spikes on them, if you can see that. And they'll go in a tire, they'll go in your skin, and they can actually cause a really nasty infection. So those got to go. Ash trees are actually pretty good trees, and they grow relatively quickly, but they are all dead in this neck of the woods. Whoops. From something called the emerald ash borer. So this is a dead tree. Bark's dead. The ash borer kills the cambium in the tree, and it dies. Black cherry, or actually, to be fair, I think wild cherry. In Ohio, they're kind of an issue. For one, there's not a lot of timber value on them, or for them, unfortunately. Just the way it is. And there's a whole bunch of them like this. They're hard to get ones that have grown straight that would have timber value. And most importantly, they get to about 18, 20 inches, if that, around, and they rot from the inside out, and then they fall over. So, you know, those trees are not really worth anything because there's no timber value for them, and they never get big enough to be worth anything. Now, this unfortunate accident right here, this is my mistake. This is a walnut tree that I hit with the tractor when I was cleaning brush, and this one will probably die, so I'll have to cut it down. Obviously, we try not to hit those trees. That's bad. But that would have been one that we would save. That's another hawthorn back there. This right here is an elm tree. Now, elm, they grow into pretty big shade trees. They have kind of this bark here, right? The problem with elm trees is twofold. One, actually threefold. They are beautiful shade trees. I mean, look at the size of this guy. He's huge. But they die from Dutch elm disease, and they start dying about this age or so, somewhere in here, maybe a little bit older. They have zero timber value, like none. You can't sell elm tree, they don't do anything with it, and they die before they get to the point where they'd be harvestable for timber anyway. And they really have no firewood value. Elm is a bugger to split, if you've ever split elm before, and it doesn't burn all that well. Ash burns much better, but the ash trees are all dead, unfortunately, but elm's kind of a bummer. So that's what we got there. Now the maple trees we want to save. So, and this is what all that hillside looked like prior to me cleaning it up. Can't really do anything with this, right? But if we clear this out, this will actually be a pretty nice pasture. But, you can't really do anything with a lot of these trees. The maple you can tap for sap, which we definitely plan on doing. So we're saving those. But, yes, we're cutting down a ton of trees. But from a timber standpoint of is it worth anything, I can sell it as firewood logs. But, that's really about it, unfortunately. There's another one of those hawthorn trees. There's just not a value in timber that's in kind of unmanaged pasture that just grows up all on its lonesome. Now, we can come back later and plant some oak trees in here and try to make it into a timber stand, do what's called TSI, timber stand improvement. So my kids and my grandkids will be able to extract some timber value from it. But first and foremost, we got to clean the trees out, thin them out, and get them going. Huh. Dangerous trees, Lord protect me. He's gonna come off that stump. Go up here, it's starting to rotate. Huh. I want that holding wood to stay. There she goes. That was sketchy. Yeah, buddy. That's biggin'. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Please keep us in your prayers. And please visit our website, LaughlinHighlandsFarm.com. And most importantly, like and subscribe. We make these videos so that people can come along with us and see our journey as we take this 4th generation family farm and make it back into, well, a farm. So God bless you all. Have a great week. Enjoy the weather. Hopefully the sun's shining where you're at. And talk to you soon.